Great point. I was going to bring this up. I wanted to see if you guys could come up with this. This is good. Because one of the things, well, let's see. Let's just call it like living in cities, right? So what do you notice about this? Living in cities. Okay? What do you notice about all of these things? Does something jump out at you guys?
It's all related to the city. I mean,
more than that, they're all like the same type of people, right?
mm-hmm.
Most people who live in cities, right, are wealthy, right? Most people who live in cities are also young adults. A lot of people who live in cities are young and wealthy, right? A lot of men and women live in cities, right? So this one still works. This is fine. And they could be motorcycle lovers, right? Because, think about it, in the city, we want minimalism. We want something that works, something that's fast, something that's efficient. Because there's not a lot of space in the city, right? So the city has what? It has congestion, right? A lot of traffic. Okay? So this is really important. Because the first step to designing a message, right? Any type of advertisement, is to think about your audience. Who do I want to buy the bike? Who do I think can buy the bike? Who do I think would be interested in buying the bike? These are the types of things that you have to think about, right? So now we have a pretty good idea of our audience, right? So now I want you to think about, now what do you remember about the features of the 0S? You guys can look back on the article if you want. But what are some of the ways that the author describes the bike? Shin? It's well designed, right? So now let's talk about the 0S. So it's well designed. Toru? Anything, like, you know, just scan the article. Take a couple of seconds and then see if you remember something. Fuel efficiency, right? So it's fuel efficient. Good. And under well-designed, we can actually make a couple of points, right? So, Koyun, do you remember like some other adjectives that do you remember some adjectives that the author uses? You can look on the second page. I think the second page had a few, right? Pedro and Koyun together. You guys, Pedro, you can give her a hand.
Well, I would say noise, like
less noise, right? It's not noisy, right? So let's just say it's quiet, right?
You said predecessors.
Sorry?
Predecessor.
Predecessor, no. Predecessor is the early version, right?
Okay.
So what are we talking? Anyway, if you guys see anything that's in there, call it out. Remember, we used there were some other adjectives used to describe the bike, right?
Better looking.
Sorry?
Better looking.
Better looking, right? So it looks really good, right? So well designed means it looks great. Right? Let's just say it looks great. Right? Remember? So and then what is it? Remember, it's slim, it's light. Right? Let's put those two in. Okay, but good. You guys came out with the most important ones, right? So when you look at all of these things, right? Now suddenly it becomes this is a pretty great situation, right? Because all of these people, our generation, we think about conservation, right? We want to think about the environment. We don't want to pollute the environment, right? The bigger the bike is, the more fuel it needs. The more fuel it needs, the more it releases smoke, which is bad for the atmosphere, right? So all of these things, right, will attract these people. So it's pretty easy, isn't it? This is suddenly great because a lot of people in the city, right, they don't want to deal with congestion. They don't want to pollute the environment. They want something that's really well designed, something that looks nice, something that feels great, right? So this is great. So suddenly we realize that we're in a perfect situation. Imagine if you guys were out in the countryside, right? If you guys went to like Ohio or something, where people don't care about these things, right? It would kind of be hard to sell this because people would be like, no, I want to, I want to ride my big bike because I can drive 400 miles with this. That's the other thing, isn't it? What do you remember about how many miles it can go, the 0S? Do you guys remember? Remember? Take a look at the second page. We just read this a little while ago. Can it go a long distance or does it go pretty short?
Short.
And that's kind of perfect too because think about it. Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, this is like 5 miles maybe. Staten Island's only like 3 miles from here. So it's perfect. You charge it once and you can ride it all over the city. You can go to Brooklyn, you can go to Astoria, you can go all the way to Central Park from here, everywhere, right? And you don't have to worry about it. You might have to charge it like once a month, right? So it's super convenient. Right? So, I mean, all of these things put together, when you really think about it, right? This is a great situation because all of these qualities are things that young people living in the city who are wealthy and they might be motorcycle lovers, right? They might be guys and girls, but it'll be mostly guys. I think 80% of like motorcycle riders are guys. No offense, maybe you like motorcycles too, but like it's mostly guys, right? Because guys are like, they like risk more than anything, right? Like girls will think about, because the problem with motorcycles is that they're not too safe, right? If a car hits you, you're gonna go flying. So hopefully you're wearing a helmet, So, and girls tend to think about that sort of thing. And guys are just like, no, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. So now what I want you to do is, now that you know all of these things, think about it. You have a 30-second ad spot, right? What do you want to show in that ad? Let's hear some ideas. You can use celebrities. You can use any locations in the city. Let's use New York, right? You can use think of a location that you guys like. Think of celebrities that you want to use. Think about it. Just let's put out some ideas, right? Come on. Let's hear it. Shen, come on. Let's hear an idea. Who would you want to be in this ad? It can be multiple people. It can be one person. It can be a Japanese actor, it can be a European actor, American actor.
What was the question?
So basically, we're thinking of ideas for a commercial, a television commercial, right? So, because now we understand our audience. We know who we're trying to sell the bike to. So to attract those people, let's come up with ideas for a television commercial, right?
Okay, so...
Think about yourselves, because you are those people, right? You guys are from Seoul or Tokyo or New York. You guys are from big cities. You're young adults. You guys are working here, right? Just think about it. What would make you stop as you're walking around your room and you see this ad for a motorcycle? What would make you stop? Think about it.
I was going to ask, wasn't anyone like that from Transformers, that actor, main actor, Shia
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Did you guys watch Transformers, the movie?
How would we use him?
You would use him? Okay, so that's one. So we can use, so let's have like the person, right? So we have one option, right? Shia LaBeouf. Right? That's one. Any other ideas? It can be anyone.
I will use like a girl
Cool, okay.
instead of bike. I mean, it's a good idea.
Well, you're saying the girl turns into the bike? You know, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so that's the person, right? Let's have another one for concept. You guys understand the word concept, right? A concept is like an idea, right? Okay, so maybe a girl turning into a bike. Yeah, that's creative. Let's think of creative ideas, right? Girl turning into a bike. I kind of like that, actually. That's interesting. Turning into a bike. Okay. Right? And then we'll have person, we'll have location, and we're going to have concept. Anything. Ideas.
Financial district?
Financial district, okay. So we'll just write FIDI, financial district. That's like the abbreviated version of financial district, right? Minsu, do you have any ideas for concepts or people that you want? So we have the girl turning into a bike, right? Okay, so let's think about a girl. Who's a really like pretty girl who like, or a famous woman that like that you think like really catches your attention, catches your eye? Think about it, anyone. Who's your favorite Korean actress? Or your favorite Korean singer? Kara. Okay. Oh, that's great. This is fantastic. This is a great idea. So we're gonna write the girls from Kara. You guys know Kara, right? They're really big in Japan as well, right? This is great. This is gonna be hilarious. Kara.
How do you know Kara? You.
Apple did it.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that later. But what's it called? I have a lot of Japanese friends and a lot of Korean friends. That's why I know this stuff. But anyway, so Kara, that's a great idea, right? So the girls from Kara. So maybe, now this is interesting, maybe the girls from Kara turn into 5-0. There's 5 of them, right? Is it 4 or 5 of them?
5.
5 of them, right? Okay, so now they turn into like the bikes, right? Maybe the girls from Kara come walking down the street, right? So that means we need a couple more people. We need 4 more people, right? Come on, ideas. Right?
Taeyong.
Taeyeon. Taeyeon's a girl though.
Oh, yeah, you mean girl.
Well, no, it could be.
Because we have Shell.
Well, no, that's cool. That's cool. Taeyeon, the singer from.
We got another girl.
Is it the guy? Is it a guy or a girl?
Or,
It's a girl.
yeah, girls in general.
Oh, okay, from YouTube. Okay, so let's go Taeyeon. Okay, so we're gonna have Taeyeon. So apparently Taeyeon is gonna ride one of the bikes. Okay, that's cool. Hey, it could work. It could work. Come on. Some more ideas. We need 3 more people. Anyone. It can be an American actor. It can be a Japanese actor, a Korean actor, actress, anything.
Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, soccer player.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Fantastic. This is great. 2 more. Come on.
How do you know How I Met Your Mother and
Neil Patrick Harris. Are you thinking?
Bunny?
You mean is it
in the movie? In the movie. In the drama, his name was Bunny.
Well, if
always wearing
suit.
Yeah.
Oh, in How I Met Your Mother, right?
Yeah.
That's Neil Patrick Harris. That's NPH.
Yeah, he's so funny.
NPH. That's like his. Everyone calls him NPH because his name's Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, this is great. And now we need 1 more person. Koyun, you haven't said anything. These guys have put everyone's put their choices in. Koyun. Anyone. Think about it.
I don't remember her name. Orlando Bloom's wife.
Orlando Bloom's wife. Wait, who's Orlando Bloom's
Mother.
wife?
Orlando. You mean Brad Pitt?
I know
No.
why.
I mean Brad Pitt's wife.
Oh, Brad, that's Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
No, but
Uh-huh.
Orlando Bloom's wife. Look it up. Look it up. We'll use her, whoever she is. Wow, this is interesting. We got more girls than guys. Like this is
Are you interested in
interesting.
Orlando Bloom's wife?
Well, actually, no. We have.
She is a model.
Oh, she's a model. Okay. See, her name is Miranda Kerr.
Oh,
Miranda Kerr. Okay, how do you spell her last name? Miranda.
Kerr.
Miranda Kerr. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fun. So this is really interesting, isn't it? So now we have 5 bikes. Okay. So our concept is still, and we're still going with girls turning into the bikes, right? Well, this is great because think about our audience one more time. Our audience is people who live in the city, right? Who are young. They're pretty wealthy, right? But they're into conservation, right? They're thinking about their environment. So immediately the location helps, Spy Guy, right? Because Financial District is downtown New York, right? It's all buildings, it's big streets, right? So you can sort of see this happening, right? You can see the motorcycles going through the big streets, right? And we have our people, Shia LaBeouf, the girls from Kara, Taehyun, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neil Patrick Harris, and Miranda Kerr. What's the common thing about all these people, right? They're young, right? They're like us, right? When we look at them, we think that that's someone who's my age. That's someone who looks like me. That's someone who dresses like me. That's another thing. What should they? How should they be dressed? Should they be dressed like me, and like office wear, or should they be dressed like me in suit? What do you guys think? Like, what do you think? What do you think they should be dressed as? They should look fashionable, right? So they should look like him, right? Because, office wear is cool, right? I mean, it's whatever. But the thing is, Office wear is also kind of like, it's something, it's like rigid, right? It's like you have to wear it when you go to the office. I can't go to the office like this. They're going to throw me out the window. They will literally kill me. So the thing is, but when you're fashionable, you're cool, right? People, when you look at an ad or when you watch a TV show, you want to be like that person, right?